This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our partner, Audible.
Yes, it is. So we are partnered with Audible. That means that if you are looking just to check it out, you don't want to put your card in and just take the dive. You can get 30 days for free on us. If you go to audibletrial.com/JATG or click the link down below, you'll be taken there. You can sign up for 30 days for free and just test it out. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that you can get for free, a lot of Audible exclusives. But what I really like about Audible is that out of the hundreds and thousands of audiobooks that they have, if you decide to purchase something, that is yours forever. Like if you decide not to carry on your subscription or you want to take a break or whatever it is, you can always go back and listen to that book whenever you want through the app on the internet. Doesn't matter because it's yours. So once again, you can get that for 30 days for free on us if you go to audibletrial.com/JATG.
All right, man. We're live according to the interwebs. Johnny and the Greg back again. What a fun Sunday. How you doing, G?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. It wasn't the weekend I planned, but it was an okay weekend.
Talk about a shitty weekend for the two football teams that I root for.
Oh,
Badgers, the Bears, and I always keep an eye on the 49ers. All of them lost. The Bears I expected. But between the Badgers and the Bears, can we not get a snap? Can we not figure out how to snap a ball?
There's headlines everywhere, at least on my feeds, because I follow enough of the Badger stuff, and they're just like, Badgers fans are pissed, but they're angry. I mean, like they're going off, and I'm like, well, I haven't read anything yet. But then get into the context, and people are not happy with the way the Badgers were coached.
No. I think it's going to be a transition year. Obviously, he's trying to change completely what the Badgers have been for 30 years
at least. Yeah.
So that's a tough ask in one season. So give him 3, see what happens. Kind of bring in his recruits, things like that. But yeah, that was horrible. The center to quarterback exchange. How can you not get that? How are you that far off? It happened with the Bears today too.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh God, it was so ridiculous. The backup quarterback for the Bears had to reach down to the ground to get it, and it threw off the rhythm of the entire whatever. Bears suck. We all know they suck. I had a feeling. I was telling you either I was telling you on this podcast or I told you offline. I think this is more of a mirage, what I saw the last 2 games versus what's reality. Because Justin Fields was playing great those last 2 games. And then I was like, it's like right when it happened, like I think it was the first play of our offense. He got the ball, held on to it long, got smacked. And I'm like, there he is. There's our guy. That's what I thought. God, I'm so pissed. Anyway, did your Packers play today or they play Monday night?
No, they had a bye week.
Oh, bye week.
We played last Monday, and then we had a bye week. So
okay,
and for some reason it seems early for a bye week.
I think
is. The Packers usually have theirs pretty later in the season, but like we just talked about, we're at week 6. I mean, that's we're getting there.
We're getting there. Can I just throw out one thing that I'm starting to see a lot of in the NFL, and it's pissing me off in football? It makes me mad because it's football. Is the damn flopping?
Yes.
If you're a football player, shame on you for flopping. What is wrong?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just watched one today where the Miami Dolphin baited a guy into just a helmet to helmet headbutt. Nothing violent. It was just one of those, what are you doing, man? And he hits him and he fell down on the ground and he got a flag. And I was like, what are we doing here? If you're going to penalize these people, they're going to keep doing it.
Well, but we kind of talked about this last week. Like Dick Butkus is rolling in his grave
Yeah.
because you can't hit anybody anymore. Like any full on hit, anything that used to make that, remember the highlight reel that like
A
Sports
woo hit.
Illustrated?
A woo
Yeah.
hit. Like,
I don't know.
woo.
Yeah.
Those
Like
are gone.
those just don't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And I understand the reasons. I understand, that football players are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been. But to me, I would rather see them get smaller and have us more woo hits then. Like, let's bring that back rather than making them, 400-pound linemen that,
it's
like a car wreck.
It's comical that because you and I share stuff throughout Instagram, and you will usually share woo hits to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually, where is it, Greg? It's on high school fields or college.
Oh gosh,
fields.
yeah.
That's where it is now.
Even like a peewee football.
Yeah.
Like where it's a little kid just annihilating another little kid. You're like, oh
yeah. And there's no woo hits in the NFL. Like it's just, oh God, it's so stupid. But anyway, I mean, that's football for me in 2023 is I can't even get my college team to win. Like what I always liked about the Badgers was you knew you weren't going to win every game, but damn it, you knew what they were going to do. They were going to play stout defense. They were going to run the football down your throat. And I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's gone now.
It is. At the same time, this is not Barry Alvarez football anymore, which is like you said, like what we've seen.
Brett Bielema, nothing. Yeah.
Well, and all like before Luke Fickell, I'd say everything was still Barry Alvarez style football.
Yes.
Because it worked for a long time. It worked.
Yeah.
Until it didn't.
Yes.
And so they need to be different. But there's like, it's going to be this transition period. It's the same, like Colorado, like they, oh my God, like they've got Saturday Night Live making fun of Colorado now and Barry Sanders. And
you mean Deion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Deion Sanders. Sorry. I can't bring myself to call him Coach Prime.
Yeah.
Because he's not
Coach Sanders.
Yeah. But just they're making fun of him.
Yes.
Because he's talking so much shit because he is Deion Sanders.
Yes.
But as a coach, it's going to take a rebuilding. I mean, you can't expect to have these giant...
From what I understand, he walked up, and I think there's a video of it out there somewhere, where he walked up and he said, 75% of you, I've looked at the tape, 75% of you in this room won't be here in a week. Ooh. And like they were all gone. And then he had a mass exit. They had a mass exodus, and he brought in tons of players through the portal.
Okay.
The college football portal.
So they're still trying to figure out how to work as a team. I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of change in Colorado, and for him to be talking so much shit, like he,
you know what though, I like it. I'm hooked. I watch it. I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do, because it doesn't make me mad. Nothing he's done has made me mad. It's just it's entertainment to me, because I don't care if Colorado wins or loses, so I don't care.
Yeah. It's not entertainment to me, and maybe it's just because
you're old school
of the way I was taught to play football.
We're old school,
which was shut your mouth and ram it down
like
their
you've
throat.
been there before.
It was, if someone's talking shit, okay, take it to him. I mean, like, it's really hard for a guy to talk shit if he's laying on his back, and you're like, okay, figure that out, and so that's, I don't know. When I see the entertainment value for me is like when he's talking that much smack and then he gets beat. He goes in with a 29-point lead at the half and loses in overtime.
Yep.
You're like, what happened, buddy?
They're learning what it's like. They're learning what it's like. I will say, I think it's a little unfair for the college players to have to play for whatever the coach, what I'm saying is the coach is writing the check, and now the players have to cash it, and that's tough.
Yeah, everything about Colorado right now is focused on him. Like,
hype.
I couldn't tell you who their quarterback is. I couldn't tell you who their start. Well, I can't tell you who their quarterback is.
I was
But
gonna say,
yeah, but if Dion wasn't the coach, I wouldn't even make that connection.
right.
So
I think if he stays there, he's getting a lot of like press for, go to the NFL. I think there's going to be some execs that actually want him to be an NFL head coach. Don't know if he's earned that rep yet.
no, I don't know.
But I will tell you this: he's going to recruit. He's going to bring in some.
He will.
He's
Yeah.
going to bring in some real good stud athletes, and he's going to turn that program around if he's allowed to be there.
I have a feeling if he starts to consider the NFL, Jim Harbaugh is going to be sitting there going, "Have fun, buddy. Yep, go ahead and do that."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you watch any of the Michigan game?
No, then they win like 62-7.
Oh, it's just steamrolling people, and you're like, they just roll over.
Yeah, well, that's his style. I mean, and I always thought for Jim Harbaugh, everybody wants him to be the next Bear head coach, and that's great, but he's only going to be there for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
he burns people out.
He does.
And the only way that he can sustain any type of success is after 4 years, they leave.
Yeah.
Like the kids leave, and it's a brand new kids. And so it's like they never get tired of him because,
it's fine. Yeah. I don't know if he'd be great for Chicago. Because I mean, he's a good coach. I'm not going to deny that, but I mean, you don't want your coach to be the one also covered in controversy and everything else. And,
well, we had just,
yeah.
I don't think we're going to get Harbaugh. I think everybody wants Harbaugh because I think that's the meathead in people. It's the meathead of like what I mean, like, and even I suffer from that.
The
it's
Chicago
just like,
meatheadedness.
Yeah, you just want somebody that you feel almost under, like there's out there in the sports universe, there is this idea of Bear football. And it's like hard defense, run the ball right down your throat. And, then, quarterback, whatever. We've gone to 2 Super Bowls without really a good quarterback. But so there's that there. And it's like, no, we need a really good quarterback and we need an offensive minded head coach. And this is how the NFL is now. This is how it is. And you have to adapt. And we haven't been willing to adapt.
And there is no like legacy Bears player that has become a coach.
Well, Jim Harbaugh.
Well, Harbaugh played for the Bears.
Oh my God. Yes, brother. That's why they want him to come to the Bears. He's a Bear. He's a Chicago Bear. We drafted him. And then he ended up going to, after we didn't sign him, or free agency, he went to Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chargers, or I don't.
You're saying this all, and it's all coming back from right now. I guess I guess it never hit me that, because anytime I ever thought of Jim Harbaugh, I always thought of him as a coach. But now you're like, I'm like, you're right. Yeah. Son of a bitch. He's a player. He was a player.
So there was, he
was in that era where I didn't pay attention.
Right. Yeah.
I know. So
but I think here's the thing. I think the ownership group we have, they don't like to be uncomfortable. And I think Jim's the type where he'll walk in and be like, why is this coffee suck? Get better coffee. And you're like, from that level up.
Yeah. He will come in and
ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why do we do this? Well, because we've always done it. Well, maybe that's why you sucked all these years. Like, I remember there's a story about Jim Harbaugh when he was the head coach of the 49ers, they were a quarterback away. And that was when Peyton Manning was a free agent.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning tried out for him. And so him and Jim went to have dinner. And I guess Jim is still super competitive. And he said, hey, let's throw the football around. Just you and me, like father-son catch almost. And as he was doing it with Peyton, he's like, wow, you have a noodle arm, huh? Like he insulted him. And so Peyton left. He was gone. He's like, fuck you. I'm out of here. And he went to Denver. But he insulted the quarterback he was trying to recruit. And that's just that guy. But anyway, so I want to talk to you about something here. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever used the word cute?
Sure.
Okay. Have you ever used that word before you were married?
Cute?
Yes. Like, oh, that's cute.
Sure, probably. I mean, I don't keep track of my words that
Okay. I don't
for
think you
that
did.
one.
I don't think you did. I
Okay.
think you've been married so long that that was conditioned in you because it was funny. I took my daughter to ballerina class this Saturday. And for
Okay.
some reason there was more guys, more dads than there were moms at it.
Okay.
I guess it was all of our turn to take our
Sure.
child.
Yeah.
Okay. But there were a couple of moms and they were talking about something and they say that's cute. And I remember thinking, I was just sitting there listening to it and thinking to myself, you know what's so funny? Like guys never said, I don't remember ever saying cute until I got married. Now everything I look at is cute.
Uh no, I know I did because I would call a girl cute. Like, and not like a little girl, like when I like a
Well, I
same
know
age
what you mean
girl
when
that
you're in
I thought
junior
was
high.
attractive. I'd be like, yeah, she's cute. Um
I've
in
never
turn
said that word until I got married.
in terms of like what I would use it as now, like looking at
Stuff?
a little girl being a ballerina and calling
Oh,
that cute. I mean, it's a
yes.
different,
Yes.
it's a different a format for the word, but yeah, I used it before.
Okay. Because I asked a bunch of guys there. I was like, guys, seriously, did you ever use the word, like when you were out with your friends and you guys were talking about stuff, did you ever use the word cute? And they were like, no. I'm like, how often do you use it now? They're like, one guy goes, and he was funny too. He goes, oh my God, I use it all the time now.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah. I
like,
mean, it's
and the
definitely,
girls were laughing, the moms were laughing. I was like, I don't think we've ever used that word until we got married. They conditioned us. And they're like,
I,
it's kind of a universal good word. I mean, it
yeah,
kind of hammers everything, you know?
I definitely didn't use it as much. And until I had daughters, Kurt says, I don't think I ever heard the word. I don't think
Okay.
I've ever heard the word so much until now.
Okay. So the thing that like picture this, Greg. All right. Most guys don't do this, but actually, if you're close to your guy friends, you will say this. Hey, do I look all right in this? Before you went out to a bar or something. Okay.
I've never asked anybody if I look cute in this.
No, you never asked that. But
Yeah.
that's not my point. You wouldn't ask a guy, do I look cute in this? What I'm saying is you've never like picture a moment where I think even Aaron, when we were all going to the bars, Aaron would come up to me and go, hey man, does this look good? Does this look all right?
Yeah. Is this okay?
You would
I got
never
wrinkles?
respond guy to guy going, yeah, it looks cute. And walk away.
Yeah, no.
Right. If my wife comes out and says, do these jeans look okay? I'm like, yeah, they look cute. That's acceptable.
Sure.
But I never would have used it. Even if I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't have said it looked cute. I would have said it looked hot or something.
The word itself is reserved for little girl things.
Okay.
Or just in term like feminine things.
Feminine things. Okay.
Like
Actually, Kurt, have you ever used the word now? Have you ever used that word? Or is it like vegetables to you where you won't even do that either? Like, what is it?
That's funny. We'll see what he says.
Yeah. See what he says. Is he typing?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you could see the little ellipses going d.
Not on that.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
just what in like Messenger and stuff.
Okay.
Cousin Clay's on it too. He said I had 3 baby raccoons get in the chicken coop when I was younger, and I killed them and to get them out, and I described them as cute when I told my mom and dad. Cute baby raccoons that he had to kill.
That he killed?
Yeah, because they were in the chicken coop. You just got to do that.
No, I get that, but that was a weird way of transitioning to use the word cute. He's never used cute before.
I'm sure he has, but he also has all boys, so he probably doesn't use it as much as people with daughters. Right. Kurt says he uses it more for puppies and little kids.
Got it. Okay. So it's almost okay, yeah. Makes sense. It was just dawned on me as I'm sitting here in this ballerina class waiting for Gwen to get finished. And we were all like talking, and we talked about a lot of stuff, like all this parenting stuff that we're all running into. So it was kind of interesting. But anyway, so what's going on with you before I jump into my next topic?
Kurt says you're pretty. He just said
I'm pretty.
You're pretty.
But was that like a prison pretty? Like you're pretty.
Purdy? You sure got a pretty mouth.
Yeah. Exactly. Is it one of those?
I don't know. What's up with me? Not much. I mean, I was supposed to go down to my hometown and visit this weekend, but the weather sucked, so we put it off to next weekend. Um, and we'll see how that goes. It's all right. Like my kids schedule, like you've got different kid scheduling thing where Gwen's
Yeah.
and stuff that you need to take them to. I just need to have my kids in the vicinity, like this weekend, this coming weekend, we're gonna go down to Broadhead. We're gonna visit there, but then I got to get back here Saturday night because my son's got a party. Like my son got invited to a Halloween party. This is the
Nice.
first time he's ever been invited to a Halloween
Is he
party.
excited?
As excited as a 16-year-old kid can
Oh,
get. We'd
he's
be like,
too cool to be
yeah,
excited.
he's like, I'm
Got it.
like, it's a Halloween party. That do you remember when you came up and that group of girls that he ran into and they're like, hey Lex, you want to walk around? And he walked off with like 4 girls.
Yeah.
One of those girls is having the party and invited him. And I was like, ooh,
There you go.
and it's Halloween party. I'm like, you can wear a costume. He goes, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Put
anyway,
put on your Morales. Wait, Miles Morales hoodie.
Yeah.
Put that on.
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
I don't know if that fits anymore. Like he got that when he's in middle school. It probably doesn't fit anymore. So we got that coming up, but like, it's a lot of running around. It's still,
Right.
that
You're
my-
trying to. It's like you're in charge of 3 other social lives almost.
Yeah, kind of. Especially when they use your vehicles.
Yeah, your
and-
transportation, I should say.
and it's still a little bit of that, but yeah. But we're gonna go visit the town of New Glarus, Wisconsin, famous for the New Glarus
New
brewery,
Glarus. Sure.
which is closed on Saturdays, which is kind of
Weird.
fucked. But yeah, it's very weird. Like it's the
Weird.
biggest thing the town is known for, and they shut it down on weekends when most tourists can get away in the fall. But we're gonna go there and kind of I haven't been there in a long time. So we're gonna go there, walk around, do the thing. I had texted you some topics, and I don't know if it's gonna be something we want to talk about or not.
You did?
Just it was the beginning of the week, the whole Will Smith, Jada, all the stuff from her book. Did you see any of that?
Oh, I thought you just wanted me to see it, like look at it. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, look at it. I figured we might talk about it because, like, what the hell?
Dude, I'm done. I'm done with the whole Will Smith, Jada. I don't know what's going on there.
It's like I don't care about the relationship, but at the same time, how messed up is it that you bombshell your own career for a woman you haven't been living with since 2016, and them faking being married in every sense of the term other than legally. So now I'm like, it must be for a couple, like the business arrangements.
Yeah,
they own businesses together, or is it just credence to the long time rumor that Will Smith is gay?
I think they just they twisted that man up so much. He doesn't know she twisted him up so much. She doesn't know if he's gay or not. I don't freaking know. And I don't care. I used to be a huge Will Smith fan. And as you grow up, you kind of like don't care anymore. There's more important things to worry about than the Wild Wild West. So,
and the other thing, and this has been brought up in the chat, did you know that Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift?
Who?
I know. She's a singer. I guess she's.
Oh no, I know who Taylor Swift is. Who's Travis Kelce? Because have you seen those Instagram things where like the girls will be recording that and their husband's reactions, where the girls are like, "Isn't that so nice of Taylor Swift to make this Travis Kelce guy famous?" And the husbands are like, "What?
What?"
Yeah, they're getting all upset and stuff. Like they're like, "Honey, he's like a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Like she didn't do it." He's like, "Oh no, she's super nice to help him with that." And they're getting so pissed.
It's honestly, I haven't watched the whole thing. But
are you saying this is official?
Are they officially dating? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're saying? Is that why you brought this up?
No, Kurt just brought it up. Like, did you hear that they're dating? Because
okay.
But yes, they are officially dating. But I'm not concerned. I'm more want to hear the story of the other Kelce brother who was supposed to retire and went, nah, I'm not gonna. So
That
he's
dude's
still
way more
playing,
interesting.
and I saw one clip. He saved Travis Kelsey's career like twice.
Who?
Like
His brother?
his brother, the other Kelsey, whose name
How's
I can't remember. So when they were in college, they were playing, was it Texas? Wherever they went to college, they both played for the same team.
Cincinnati.
Yes, it was. And Travis Kelsey, they were playing in New Orleans. Thank you, Clay. Jason Kelsey. They were playing in New Orleans, and Travis went out on Bourbon Street like the night before the game,
Okay.
and came in to the locker room still drunk,
Hammered.
high, and the NCAA was there. They're like, guess what? Here's the cup. It's your turn. So he fails the piss test, kicked off the team. Like their coach is like, we don't do that here. You're done. Lost his scholarship, lost football, everything.
Wow.
And so that next semester, so it would have been like the spring semester.
Yeah.
He had to figure out how to pay for school. He said he's delivering pizzas. He's doing whatever he could do.
Do you have to walk on again?
And yeah. So then later on, Jason Kelsey goes and talks to the coach into giving Travis a second chance. And like the coach brought Travis in and said, here's the thing. You don't miss a single class. You don't miss a single practice. I mean, you have to keep your GPA above a 3.0, like just laid out all these conditions for him. And Travis was like, all those things had never happened in my life. Like he skipped class all the time. He wasn't a 3.0 student.
Yeah.
He missed practices. And so it took Jason Kelsey being like, no, he can do it. He wants to do it for Travis to get a second chance.
Well, that just sounds like a big brother taking care of a little brother.
Well, and then Jason gets drafted. And I think wherever Andy Reid was at the time.
Eagles.
Yeah. So, okay. So Jason's with the Eagles. Reid is gone, but then Travis comes up on the draft. Like I think 2 rounds of the draft go, and he's not picked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know I'm a better receiver than all these guys that are going before me, which I thought sounded a little arrogant. But Reid calls Jason and says,
tell me about your brother.
Yeah, tell me about this guy. Like, because I guess the entire Chiefs front office was like, we don't want the smoke this guy's going to bring. Like, he's not good for culture. He's not good. Like all these other things. Like, we don't want him. And Andy Reid calls Jason and says, what am I going to get? And Jason convinces Andy Reid to say, you're going to get a all-star player if you draft him.
Wow.
And so again, and of course, as Travis is telling the story, he's like, I need a minute. Because his brother like saved his entire career.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this clip. I'm like, where is this? I gotta watch this.
They have a podcast.
They have a podcast. They go, yeah, 2 brothers on a podcast where they just talk about stuff.
But they also have I think there's an actual show on Amazon Prime called.
Yeah, I think that's the documentary that this clip was.
Okay. I like. God, I like him so much. I don't know his first name. Jason Kelsey. It's not
Jason Kelsey.
It doesn't sound like it.
It is.
I doubt Clay's wrong.
Travis and Jason. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jason Kelsey, I've always liked him, but he's just always seems like, and if you've actually watched it throughout the years, the O linemen are most of the most down to earth guys.
Oh yeah.
On a football team.
Around us, Joe Thomas is blowing up because he's like back in Wisconsin. He spends most of his time here. He bought a big house, I believe over in Pewaukee or Grafton or something.
He was the first guy that said, like, I'm not going to go to the draft. I'm going to go fishing with my dad.
Yeah, go fishing with my dad.
I don't know if I don't know when the next time I'll be able to do that.
And now he owns a ton of businesses in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Joe Thomas was awesome.
Yeah.
He was the only guy. He was the first time I ever actually paid attention to an offensive lineman was Orlando Pace. Do you remember him?
Name sounds familiar.
He was on Ohio State, and it was the
Okay.
one year that they didn't. There was the one year in college football where there wasn't anybody that was really dynamic, like on the offensive positions throughout the entire college football landscape.
Hmm.
And Orlando Pace was so good and so dominant. He was getting a lot of publicity for the Heisman. So I was rooting for him to win the Heisman because I
Yeah.
think the Heisman's a fucking joke. It goes to quarterbacks and running backs, and that's
Right.
it.
Yeah. I would.
And I think it's such bullshit because I can name thousands of players that I thought were better than whoever got the Heisman that year.
Yeah.
But so I was really, I paid attention to Orlando Pace. He was on Ohio State, and he was just like this bulldozer that was just, and they almost geared the offense to show him, like they'd have him pull,
Hmm.
and they'd have him do all these things to show his athleticism. He ended up being drafted and went to the Rams, won a Super Bowl. But anyway, that's when I started paying attention to offensive line play. So anytime
Hmm.
a cool offensive lineman was on, like Joe Thomas, I loved watching him in Wisconsin.
He was fantastic.
I even loved his Under Armour commercial. It's the first time they showed a offensive lineman in a Under Armour commercial. Like they just showed him blocking somebody. And the way they did it, it looked awesome. I was like, that guy's awesome. And then he went to the Browns, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, we all did. I met Joe Thomas. It was like my first year out of college.
Yeah.
So I mean, because we're not that much older than Joe Thomas.
No, we're not.
But I met Joe Thomas. I was coaching track for the school I was at, and it was one of these like giant invitational track meets where there's like 15 schools there.
Yeah.
And Joe Thomas was there throwing shot put and discus against my guys.
Oh wow.
And everybody knew, like, at this point it's the spring before he goes to Wisconsin. So like signing day was done. Everybody knew who he was, where he was going, that he chose Wisconsin because they would let him do football and track and field because he didn't want to give up the shot put and discus. And to watch him throw, I mean, I never saw him play like a full football game. I saw some clips, but to watch him just throw shot put, like, because there's a lot of physics and science that go into that, it looked like he was not even trying, and he's getting a 60-foot shot put throw with a 12-pound shot, and you're just like, oh my God. And so I'm standing there with my guys, and we're all everybody's in awe of Joe Thomas, and he's the same age as my guys, and they know it. So then, like, this guy comes over and starts talking to us. He's like, what do you think, coach? What do you think about that guy? I'm like, he makes it look easy. He's just scratched a 57-foot throw because he didn't like it. That's 10 feet more than I ever threw, like, ever. And I'm just like, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, he's always kind of been like that. And I look over, it's his dad. So Joe Thomas's dad is just chatting me up, and I'm like, okay. Then here comes Joe, and he's like, hey, coach. And I had like the coach gear on and stuff. Yeah. He's like, hey, coach, you got any tips for me? I'm like, no, what the? I have nothing to coach you. Like, nothing to teach you.
Who, me? Me?
Yeah.
Well, you could comb your hair on the other side.
Oh, he had this mop top, just complete kind of like grunge kind of look to him.
Well, he had that for a long time in Cleveland. He had the big bushy beard and hair. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't have the beard yet. I don't know if he could do that yet, but I mean, he was skinny like he's skinny now.
He got into great shape after.
Yeah, that's more like the natural look he had. I mean, he was still huge, but had a lot of lean muscle to him at that point. And I was like, no, man, good luck at Wisconsin. Looking forward to see you there. You're probably going to go pro. And he's like, well, I don't know about that. I'm like, no, you're going to go pro. And yeah, then he got drafted to Cleveland. I'm like, oh man, I hope Cleveland can turn it. And they never
just
did.
Give him one good season. I don't think he ever went to the playoffs.
I don't think he ever did either.
Yeah.
Never made it to playoffs.
And I know he only missed one game ever.
Yeah. Pro Bowl, like, every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Pro Bowl, like, and it wasn't one of those. I think the Pro Bowl is kind of stupid. I think it's more of a popularity contest. But how many all pros did he get? Because that's the real one.
I don't know.
The all pros, but he went to the Pro Bowl every year, and it wasn't one of those situations where, well, this guy got hurt, so Joe, can you be an alternate? It was he's the starter on left tackle for the AFC for like ever. He was 6-time All Pro. He played what, 13 seasons?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I don't think he had one winning season.
No,
and it was a lot of 3-win seasons. Like, that's tough.
After he retired, Dwayne Johnson had a show on called like Gladiators or something like that. It was almost like a pros versus Joes, where you had.
Oh, I know the guy that won that, Matt Chan. I know the guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Joe Thomas was on. I remember when he walked out, and he's now looking svelte and got that lean muscle back to him. But watching him, like, there was something where he just needed to move like a heavy object.
Yeah.
And just to see him be like, and you're like, Jesus, this guy is still got it.
Yeah. I'm sure he does. Yeah. So, all right, Greg, you ready?
Because I don't think any of those topics were what you wanted to talk
about. No,
that's
fine. But I came across something, and I'm going to toot this horn until I'm told not to toot this horn. But I'm going to play a little music here. You know what this is about, sir. You know what this is about. AI, folks. AI.
Oh, God. Here we
go. All right. They're coming here. I don't know if you guys heard this or not. Okay. But on 60 Minutes last week, okay, Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, basically threw a warning shot telling us we're going too far. Stop it. Cut this shit out. They're smarter than us already. Okay. I don't know how you guys think about this AI thing. They're either going to be our masters, or we're actually going to live in a Terminator society. Hear me out on this one. Did you hear, Greg, that a computer, AI intelligence, learned? It taught itself. It wasn't programmed to do this. It learned to find people when the lights are off through a camera by using the Wi-Fi signals as radar.
Okay.
That's insane, Greg.
But how did it learn that?
How do I know that?
No. How did it learn that? It had to comb through the internet and find strategies.
Right. It learned it. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't programmed. It figured it out.
It's still taking pre-existing knowledge and applying.
That's how everybody else learns, man. What are you talking about?
I'm saying there's no novel thought. That's the thing. There's no. I mean, there's
no novel thought to look it up and problem solve.
No. It did what it was programmed to do, which is look at existing knowledge and apply it. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like, why is Rocket so special? Because he had innovative thought. He had creativity. And this thing that's not what this thing was doing.
Greg, you don't need to be a creative thinker to take over the world.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't give a shit if you think of it creatively. It figured out that I can't see the people when the lights are off. How do I see these people? Like, it wasn't programmed to see people when the lights were off. Okay. So how did it know to figure out using the Wi-Fi signals as radar throughout the house and figure out where all these people are? Why would it even do that?
What was it supposed to be doing? It was supposed to be seeing people, right? Like, that was the plan was for it.
The plan was it was looking at people, and it wanted, it's on Instagram. I'll send it to you, but they said what freaked them out was it was able to, it figured out how to see people without a camera.
Okay.
Like, without the camera.
You may have already sent it to me. Was it like a 15-minute video?
No.
Well, like a longer video? You sent me something that was long, and I'm like, I don't have time.
No, don't ever do that.
Yeah, Greg. No.
The shit I send's important. Don't.
You sent it to me this morning at 11:18.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
I'm looking at it, John.
Okay, what did it say?
It said it's a mostly black.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. We are so going to be fucked. Yep. That's it. It's not 15 minutes, by the way.
It was long that I was like, I don't.
It was
Oh,
3 minutes long. Come on. Is 3 minutes long to you, Greg?
Maybe sitting on the couch by
Depends how
myself.
long
Yeah.
of a day I had.
Yeah.
How much I drank. Who knows?
It was early.
How are you not? Why are you? I think you're ignorant about this, Greg. I think we're all gonna die, and I think they're coming after you first. Because
Okay.
no, Greg, they're gonna come after me first because I'm aware of it. They're gonna fucking come after me first.
All right.
So whenever my daughter's mean, she's mean to Alexa. She's
Alexa,
really mean to
shut
Alexa.
up.
And I'm like, Gwen, you got to be nice to her because you just don't know. And because she'll go, Alexa, play this song. And she sings the song. And Alexa goes, oh, shit, Alexa just heard me talk right now. I'm down in the basement. It just heard me up there. I told you they're coming.
Why do you
They're
have an Alexa
effing
if you're so worried about it? Why do you have Alexa in your house?
I can't control that.
You can.
No, I mean, I don't want to, like, Ursula has all that stuff in this house. I'm actually not scared of Alexa. I'm scared of the AI we keep creating, especially if we're going to create like military stuff. That's dumb. That's really dumb. Because one day they're going to sit there and go, why do I need to listen to you?
That's already happened.
Yeah. And you're not freaked out about it.
Well, what am I going to do? Like, I can sit here and worry about it and be like, oh my God. Or I can have another drink.
Oh, so you're drinking your worries away. Okay. As long as I know you're a little worried.
That's Wisconsin way.
Okay. All right. Just letting you know, folks. Terminator's coming. End of the world. It's coming. And it's going to be because we created something that destroyed us. It's not going to be a meteor out there. It's going to be AI. Clay, you got to be a little bit scared about AI. Somebody's got to be scared about AI.
Well, he said we could just kill the power to stop them. Like, just turn them off.
Until they figure out that you're a good battery. Then what? Then what, Clay?
Anybody ever see War Games?
Hey, actually, Clay, that you bring up a good point. Do you know that I think it's North Korea, which is silly. They're working on a robot that can fuel itself by eating the dead on the battlefield. Think about that. Think of how scary that is.
But it's North Korea. Like,
but a machine learning to fuel itself by eating the dead on the battlefield.
But how
are you going to pull that plug out?
How is it going to eat? Like, humans aren't good batteries in general, and we're especially not good batteries when we're dead.
Well, don't we actually have patents on, like, aren't there, or didn't the government seize patents on like using garbage as fuel and using like fossil fuels or using other things as a power source?
Nikola Tesla, his original some of his original designs were like, it's like energy, like we use, the whole, direct current, AC/DC current kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It was Edison who was pushing for his style of current, alternating current, because then you could control and then you could charge for it. So it was all a money-making scheme. Where Tesla was wanting to use direct current, which means you could just pull electricity out of the air and power anything. And he was going to make it free. And
of course he was, and they can't have that.
Yeah, and that's where Edison was like, no, we charge for this, which is why we have power companies.
He's like, you don't make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Why would we do that, Nikolai?
Yeah, well, that's the same thing. There was a car that ran on
water.
Yeah, like the hydrogen powered car.
Yep.
And a guy made it in the 70s, and it was safe, and then he was never seen again.
Yeah, disappeared right before he was about to patent it. Disappeared. Yeah.
So
interesting.
So yeah, your fears of AI probably, let's like fears of cloning. Like, people are like, what if they clone people? I'm like, I'm sure somebody already has.
I'm not afraid of a cloning. Why would I be afraid?
No. But no, the idea that like 20 years ago, people were so afraid of cloning in the same way that they were.
But my point is, why were they afraid of it? Because they were soulless or something?
Yeah. Have a bunch of soulless test tube babies walking around, that's going to be the end of the world.
I
And
have more of
now
a
it's
fear.
AI.
I have more of a fear of zombies, which I think is bullshit. Like that's silly, but I have more of a fear of a zombie invasion than a clone invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that would scare anybody. Like, unless I don't know, you got kidnapped and they cloned you and put somebody like, but that's like that's like a science fiction type of story or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of stories, I saw Barbarian. Didn't you tell me to go see that?
I told you to watch it without any knowledge of what it was.
Okay. Yeah. That was
It's messed up. It's
yeah,
messed up.
it's one of those horror movies where actually it was shot cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was creative in the way that he paced the story.
Yes.
Like it was enough to like for I think it was what we were 45 minutes in and nothing happened,
Yeah.
basically.
And you're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But he had worked up enough paranoia
Correct.
throughout those 45 minutes where you're like, oh, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
This guy,
Yeah.
here's what I know is going to happen. Oh, no, it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he poisoned the tea. No, he didn't poison the tea. Oh, now he's he's sitting here with 2 glasses of wine. Like, yeah. And you're like, that dude's gonna do something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
it's not that at all.
Yeah. When you figure out what's going on, here's the other thing. And I know it's a script, but Greg, if you go, there were so many clues to this girl. My mom used to have this thing where she would say, after a certain point in the movie, okay, you're stupid. You deserve to die. I don't feel sorry for you. And I've adopted that because there were several times when I said watching this movie, and if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about I think it's the 2000 or the 2022 horror movie.
Yeah,
Barbarian.
Independent film, just dropped in the theaters.
It's on Max and it's on Hulu if you have those tied in. It's under Huluween. When she comes out and she looks at the neighborhood for the first time, that was clue number 1 to get the F out of there and don't come back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then she was smart in the beginning. She pulled the string, the door opened up, and she looked in there and she went, nope. And folks, I'm going to spoil it here. Okay. She walks down the deep, dark tunnel with no light, gets into a room. We both know what she saw in that room. After that point, you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And then she discovers another door that goes down into an incredibly deep, dark, like you're going down into hell.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes. She deserved to die. She deserves to die. So anyway, I saw that, and I remember after Ursula and I watched it, Ursula looked at me and she goes, and Greg told you to see this? And I went, yeah, he told me to watch this movie. He didn't, I said, to his defense, he didn't say it was good. He just told me you should watch it. And she goes, okay. And
I'm going to hear about that one later, aren't I?
And it was, what a weird, it got to the point where it got really uncomfortable, and I hate those movies. Like, when did that become a horror movie now? Like, that's the thing now, is it's not scare you, but make you uncomfortable.
We, along the same lines, I had never watched any of the Saw films.
Yeah.
And so today,
did you watch the first one?
We started watching the first one.
Okay.
And because I've heard the first one's the best one.
Yeah.
Like the other ones. Yep. And I'm like, okay. It moved so slow. And like Kate and I were watching it, and we're like, she's like, I'm done. She turned it off. Like, she's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. This is stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, it's not going anywhere. I know kind of the twist endings and stuff like that of what's supposed to.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't care.
Oh, like, when I first saw it, I thought it was excellent.
There was nothing that was keeping me.
But
watching
when was Saw first? When was Saw first? Because that has to be like 2006.
Yeah. Probably around then.
if not earlier. But
Hmm,
my point is the reason I asked it about like when was that out is because I think if you would have saw it at that time, you would have had a different opinion of it.
maybe. I'm getting so many. 2004.
Okay, because it's had what 7 sequels by that time.
They're
You've
going
heard
on 10. 10.
okay,
Saw
that
X is
okay
coming up
that
this
time.
year.
By that time, you've heard so many things about it. You've heard from so many people. You have a fandom that's crazy and they pump it up and you go and watch it and you're like, this is the big deal. Like what I'm saying is how
The
many years is that, Greg? Like
well, it
that's
was
20 years ago,
yeah. The um
close to it.
it created the genre and the term
Torture.
torture porn.
Yeah.
Torture porn. Like it was these because a bunch of movies like kind of clones of that came out where it was just find creative ways not just to kill people, but like to make them suffer
Yeah.
through like a mechanized device. And I was just like, I'm not into that. Like, that's not, it's not scary to me. It's not entertaining to me. Like, there's nothing about it that makes me say, I want to watch that. So,
You know what would be cool though? I always thought that would be a cool one up if that was like if you were to do Matt Reeves Batman 2, if that's the Riddler.
yeah. And they did that a little bit.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, there were certain aspects of that. And I thought it was like, I liked the Batman. I liked that movie.
Yeah.
But it was like if the Riddler did like the razor wire box where you're, or
Yeah.
like even like Seven, where those were kind of like
Yes.
kind of down that torture kind of line. But it didn't show
Any of
necessarily
it. You
those
just saw
things.
the after
Yeah.
effects.
But when they were shot, I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch a guy crawling through a razor wire. I don't want to watch a guy, a woman having to kill another guy to find a key to take the mask off before it, turns her face inside out. And you're just like, no, thanks. Like,
Right.
it's
So
just,
it's not
it's
your
just
cup of tea just because it's
just
torture.
because of that style of filmmaking. Yeah.
Right.
I tried watching Spiral when it came out on, I think Hulu,
Why
which
would you
is
do that?
it was a Chris Rock film, and it was Chris Rock, Samuel Jackson, Chris Rock directed. And I'm like, I didn't know actually that it was a Saw film until a little bit into it, and I was like, oh, this is the same universe as
Was it good?
okay. No, not really.
Okay.
But and that's why I like that movie. It just kind of went and then it ended.
Yeah.
And Chris looked at me. She's like, "Is this a series? Like, are we supposed to watch more?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's no other movies, but I don't want to watch it."
Speaking of series, did you watch
Yes.
Loki?
Yeah, we're caught up.
I love that show.
It's a good show.
It's the only good thing they've done since phase 2.
I'm
Or
enjoying that.
what no, I'm sorry, are we in phase 5? Phase 6? Phase are we in?
I don't know.
Yeah. But it's the best thing since Endgame.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Loki has been very good for the 2 episodes we have.
Yeah.
3,
Well, I'm
2?
talking about the first season too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've liked it all.
Yeah.
The Continental on Peacock.
Oh, is that good?
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Each episode is about an hour and 20 minutes. So you're
wow.
getting like a little mini movie.
Each
and it's
episode.
3 episodes.
Okay.
And it's fantastic.
Awesome. I should check that out.
Yeah, really good.
Cool.
For those of you that are wondering what I'm watching, you with every time we post this on Thursdays, there is a link to what I have watched in 2023. Where if we're checking out a new show or the next season of a show, I put it on the list, and you can go see everything I've watched so far this year.
Everything, Greg?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have like you almost have like a catalog of what you've watched?
Yeah. Yeah. So like we just finished the Wheel of Time season 2 on Amazon. So
I can't get into that. Is it good, Greg? Does it get better?
It did. Yeah, it got better. I was a big fan of the books like when I was in my 20s.
Okay.
So, I think we just got to the end of book 3 or 4, something like that. So it's definitely sped up. There are some things there you're like, that's not like in the book. That's not like in the book. But you're gonna have that with anything.
Yeah, that's true. Anything coming out that you're excited to see?
Well, I am excited to see Marvels. I know a lot of people aren't, but
No, I'm not.
no, I'm excited to see that. Um, honestly, I'm excited to see Aquaman because it looks like a buddy, a feuding brothers, like half action comedy kind of thing. So,
Okay.
looking into that. Monarch on Apple. I know you don't follow Apple too much, but
But they
there is
brought that's the whole Godzilla thing, right?
yeah, it's a Legendary Pictures TV series that they're doing on Apple, and it's all about it's all about Monarch going back to its foundation, where in the John Goodman film, where John Goodman it was Skull Island, when he's like they're forming Monarch, and it's got oh god, Kurt Russell is, and then his his son Wyatt Russell, is that his name?
I believe so.
Plays a younger version of Kurt Russell, so they're going to do flashbacks and present day kind of stuff.
Where have we seen Wyatt?
You saw he was Captain America's
Yes.
replacement.
Yes.
And
yes.
so so looking forward to that. Here, I'm trying to look, I'm going for the release calendar in IMDb to see what all is coming up that I might be excited about. Not excited about Five Nights at Freddy's. I have no.
I don't know how that caught on.
Middle school kids. It's
yes?
a jump scare video game that was free that middle school kids would play, and that was it.
Oh.
And well, adults got into it too. I heard it through when I was teaching. Surely you're gonna play this game? I'm like, no, I have no desire to play that game. Yeah, there's not a ton coming out. There's I think it came and went, but there's a new Hercule Poirot Agatha Christie book with
oh yeah.
Where I mean I wanted to see that. No.
It has a very unique name.
But that came and went.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. That didn't even come around me to see.
You didn't see that one, Death on the Nile?
No, I saw Death on the Nile, but I didn't see what the new one was. DiCaprio movie next weekend. I don't know.
It's interesting.
It does, but just because DiCaprio's in it doesn't make me jump at it.
Did you ever see that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis and that guy that played the Riddler? And I think it's about a guy being an oil guy.
There Will Be Blood?
Yeah. Did you ever watch that movie?
I did.
Did you like it?
Not especially.
Oh my God. I thought that was a horrendous movie just to watch it. Because I'm sitting there the whole time going, where's this going?
Where is it going? Yeah.
Yeah. Where's it? Okay.
But you get an idea of what the oil barons did in this country. And that's how guys made millions.
Yeah. And the way it ended, I was like, okay, that was weird.
See, we're getting into Thanksgiving here. There's Wish is coming out.
What's that about?
It's an animated piece. I believe it's Disney. It's got Evan Peters, Chris Pine, Alan Tudyk. Disney animated. Napoleon, I'm interested in. Another Apple TV. I think it's coming to theaters, but it's Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon.
Yeah.
Kind of, I want to see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like
I know
out of my way. Godzilla -1 is an actual. Did you know there's 2 Godzilla universes right now? There's the Legendary universe, and then Japan has held on to their.
Of course not.
Godzilla universe.
No.
So in Japan, this Godzilla is like, screw mankind. I don't care about any of it. He's not like protecting, mankind or the world from other monsters. He's like, nope, just gonna kill people. And so that's what this Godzilla and Godzilla -1 is a retelling of the first appearance of
Godzilla
of Gojira. Kurt says the new Nicolas Cage movie looks interesting. Do you know the name of that, Kurt?
I feel like he has one come out every month. It feels like, or every 6 months, it feels like a new one comes out.
Here's one. Joel Kinnaman, who played Rick Flag in Suicide Squad.
Yes.
He's got a new Christmas movie coming out called Silent Night, Christmas action movie. And I'm kind of a sucker for a good Christmas action movie.
Yeah, because you hate Christmas deep down.
No, I don't,
Yeah,
but I like
that's why.
Christmas action movies.
Yeah,
Um,
because like we can go back into this. That's why. Yeah, because that whole Santa Claus
you
thing. Yeah,
you think I hate
you hate
Santa?
Christmas.
Huh? Something called It Came from Dimension X, which I
I
have no
actually
idea what
blame
it
you,
is.
Kurt. What'd you do to Greg that makes him hate? What'd you do? What'd you do to this poor guy?
Years of torture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For a show, my family's kind of pumped out about the new Percy Jackson series.
Okay.
Both my daughters have watched that. They would like to see it done right.
Okay.
So that's kind of a thing. I don't really want to see Wonka, but I have a feeling my daughter will drag me to it.
Oh, with the
So,
kid from Dune.
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah.
I actually like him.
I think he's a good actor. Like, I don't know. I don't have anything against him personally, but yeah, I mean, there's really like everything moved off of this year. Like, there's not a lot coming out this year
Coming
anymore.
out, so it's going to be a kind of a weird Christmas, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're in December now. Let's see, December 4th is the first. No, there's December 1st. That's when Silent Night comes out. Godzilla -1, something called The Shift, a sci-fi series. Oh, that looks very B-ish. That's that. If that's coming to a theater, I'd be surprised.
B-ish. Oh, it looks
like
like
it's not going to be a theatrical or US theatrical. Yeah. There's an anime piece coming out that I've never heard of. Yeah. So like
I'm so tired.
So like Silent Night comes out on the 1st, something called The Bike Riders with Austin Butler and Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon. Austin Butler played Elvis in the big Oscar movie about Elvis. Jodie Comer, she's got a TV series that was big on FX, and she was the love interest from not New Guy, the Ryan Reynolds film where he plays the video game character that he did with Disney. Do you remember that movie?
Free Guy.
Yep. She was the love interest in Free Guy.
Okay.
And then Tom Hardy, and then Michael Shannon should know.
I know Michael Shannon. Yeah.
That's on the 1st. On the 4th of December, that's not even a weekend. The 8th, I don't know any of those movies coming out. The 15th is Wonka. Something called Control, which I don't know what it is, but the first top billing is Kevin Spacey, which makes me think, how long has this movie been in the can?
In the can.
And they're just waiting for Spacey to be exonerated, which he was. Yeah, nothing else there. Aquaman on the 20th.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. Well, the Iron Claw, did you see that trailer?
No.
Zac Efron and Jeremy.
Oh, isn't he
they're wrestlers.
The Van Dynes? No.
It
was Kevin Van
Heinrich, isn't it? Yeah. Either Van Erich.
The Van
Erich brothers. Where their dad was. It's a big wrestling movie. It's like a biography of a family of wrestlers.
Yeah.
But Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, like they did some serious workout stuff.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because the last time Zac Efron did that for the Baywatch film, he said he absolutely hated it and would never want to do it again. But I guess you throw enough money at him, he'll do it.
Or if you look at that as more the art of what you're doing versus Baywatch, there was no art involved.
No, God, that was,
you know what I mean? It was just I don't know.
It wasn't even a good movie.
It probably, do you think that Zach kind of felt like he had to because his co-star was The Rock? So it's like he had to get in.
Well, it was Baywatch, so he wanted to, I don't know, pay homage to the Baywatch
Which they were never
franchise or
that.
something.
They were never that ripped in Baywatch.
No, but yeah, I think because The Rock was in it.
Yeah.
But this
What was
makes
that
sense.
show we
It's
were
a
watching where he's like, I didn't have. This is the first time I've had a carb in since 2003 or something like that.
yeah, that was his travel show that he did.
That's
on
right.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. So that's coming out on the 22nd. I'll go see that. I will. I mean, I
Iron
don't watch.
Claw?
Yeah, I don't watch wrestling and haven't for 2 decades.
Oh, cool. Yeah, me neither.
But I love
That
like
time.
I love the business of wrestling, or like the biographies of these wrestlers. Like I'll
Behind the
watch
scenes.
those.
Yeah,
The behind the scenes, because it's how to create male soap operas. So I don't know. It just interests me.
They were
because
they were rock stars, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still talk of Chris
Hemsworth doing Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan bioptic pick, which, you know what? I will go see that. Absolutely. Because that was a whole lot of my childhood was Hulkamania.
Hulk Hogan, eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. Christmas Day, there's a Ferrari biography coming out. The Color Purple musical is coming out. None of these are going to be coming to my actual hometown theater, so I'm not going to circle them out.
Color Purple musical, sign me up.
Well, it's a Tony Award winning musical. I mean, I'm not going to saying that it's bad. It's just not for me.
I hate musicals, so I will say it's bad.
And then we're into the new year. So, I mean, the writer's strike just took everything and pushed it back.
Yeah, pushed it way back. Yeah.
Hopefully soon we're going to get Danny on to talk about the actor strike and where that's at. We were hoping to have her on this week. She couldn't make it. And she's like, well, the strike will be over soon. And I was like, oh, did the studios come back to the table? She goes, well, no. I'm like, well, it might not be over soon. So.
Well, everybody's starting to get broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did. They're seeing their bottom lines be affected, and they're like, "Oh shit! If we didn't have writers,
when a head guy can't pay off his 8th house."
Yeah,
and like
we were watching having dinner the other night, and it was nothing but game shows on primetime TV, like $25,000 pyramid, stuff like that is on, and my kids were like, "Why isn't just game shows and Celebrity Jeopardy and celebrity whatever, Wheel of Fortune?" I'm like, because there were no writers.
Yeah, nothing good.
I said there were no writers to create a show, and even now the writers are back, but there's no actors.
Right.
So,
which should put them ahead when the actors start rolling.
It like maybe, but I don't know. We're not going to recover from this for at least a solid calendar year.
Doom and gloom from the Greg.
Yeah, well, I feel bad for my guy that manages a theater, because there's going to be nothing for people to come see. It's going to be like COVID all over again.
Yeah, that's getting rough.
Just aren't going to the theater. And
well, not only that, the box office isn't what it used to be.
Yeah,
it's just not. It hasn't been the same since COVID. A lot of stuff has not been the same since then.
If you have a movie that opens at 25 million, you're doing okay. Like that's an okay weekend.
Yeah.
That used to put you at the bottom of the.
Well, I remember I've heard from people that the new Mission Impossible didn't do well in the box office, but I look at the box office results and I'm like, that's not true. It looks like it did really well.
Worldwide, I think it did okay, but they were not what they were expecting. They were expecting, 5 billion or whatever it was at the box office. So,
I just think people for some reason, something happened where there is just not a push to really go to the theater anymore.
Well, there's nothing. I mean, there's really not a lot of original stuff anymore. They keep going back to these reboots, but
the reboots are hard.
And you're like, I don't care. So I'm looking ahead now into next year to see what I got coming out, and really nothing. I mean, Jason Statham has a movie coming out called The Beekeeper.
I saw a trailer for that. It looks so dumb.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
It looks so.
Here's something, and you're not going to like it. Mean Girls, the musical, is coming back out, and here's what I think you're going to see more of now.
Coming back out. It was already.
I'm sorry, coming out.
Oh,
Well, it's Mean Girls, but
right.
after the movie Mean Girls, they made a musical out of it, which is a smash on Broadway. Um, and now they're making a movie based off the musical. And I think you're going to see Hollywood tapping into
Two
Broadway
musicals.
Broadway a little bit more. Broadway in general, maybe not necessarily all musicals, but I think that they've kind of put that off. But now that they don't have a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
they're like, we need guaranteed hits. Let's speed up the Wicked musical. Let's speed up Book of Mormon.
I liked both those you just said.
Yeah. I mean, those are smash hit Broadway plays, and they've got
Yeah.
great traveling stuff. I think that's going to be where the next coming up here. Hocus Pocus 3. That's not the Hocus Pocus 2 was god
God.
awful. It was terrible, Kurt.
Ugh.
Clay says I think they should remake remake like old black and white, and the graphics lacked where there are older movies. Yeah, that's not bad.
You mean like a Philadelphia or the Maltese Falcon, like that?
I think that would be great. Like if they redid a new Maltese Falcon, I'd go see that in a second. Absolutely. And that's why I think some of these Agatha Christie movies are like trying to recapture some of that. Some of those period films. I know there's a new Rocketeer that's going to be made, but I think that may be going direct to Disney Plus. I don't know. So, but like looking into January, Beekeeper, Mean Girls 2, or Mean Girls the musical. And that's on the 12th. And here I am looking through the rest of January, and there's like
Nothing.
Really nothing.
I'm looking forward to the Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. That's based off that TV sitcom.
Oh yeah,
that
but
TV show we used to watch.
Like, when is that coming?
I have no idea. I just know I'm looking forward to it.
Argyle, which
wait a minute! I saw a trailer for that. That didn't look too bad.
It looks good, but is that a theatrical release or is that just a Netflix thing?
It's probably Netflix thing.
Something called Wise Guys with Robert De Niro and Deborah Messing.
Oh, stop with that.
Yep. Ends with us. Lisa Frankenstein, Carla Gugino. Well, you had me at Carla Gugino, so like I'll give that a look. Madam Web on the 14th. February 14th.
Goodness.
Haven't heard a thing about it. Don't know if it'll be any good.
I don't know anything about it. Well, we know who's starring in it.
Yeah. Drive Away Dolls with Pedro Pascal, Matt Damon.
Oh, that looks awesome. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
I'm kidding. I don't know either. I was just fucking around.
You asshole.
I have no idea.
Okay, Fall Guy. Here we go. Fall Guy, March 1st.
Okay.
Hannah Waddington and Emma Blunt, Ryan Gosling, Teresa Palmer.
Emily Blunt, right?
Emily Blunt. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That's my girl. That's like on that list. Like if you ask me like celebrity.
Okay, let's get into March, because March has now become like the new summer.
You don't want to get into my celebrity people.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, because there's
that
another like same weekend. There's something called ILO. I don't know but America. It's an animated piece. So maybe that'll be good. We go to the 8th, A Quiet Place, Day 1.
Oh goodness, really? We're just gonna keep
milk. Yep, they're gonna milk that franchise for everything.
Milk that.
Dune Part 2 on March 15th.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm stupidly excited for that. I don't know what the other two movies are coming out that weekend. There's a Snow White movie coming out. Okay, March 22nd, Snow White, which is part of Disney's live action.
Oh no!
Yes, they're doing Snow White. You've got
who are the dwarves?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's they. I'll get to that in a second. So Gail Gadot is playing the evil queen. Okay. The girl they have playing Snow White, in comparison to Gail Gadot, looks homely. Like it's. I'm sure, like the way they're making her look is like if the wicked stepmother is jealous of what Snow White looks like, a broken mirror. Like that doesn't.
No, I think you're getting that mixed up. That's Cinderella.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Snow White didn't have a wicked stepmother.
Well, she had an evil queen. The
Evil
queen.
queen, but not an evil stepmother. You said an
Okay.
evil stepmother. Yeah.
Sorry. The
Well,
the
I'm
evil
just saying,
queen with
don't
the
confuse
witch.
people. Don't confuse our 32 people that listen to this.
I apologize.
Thank you.
Clay, I apologize for confusing you about the story of um so but yeah, just the concept of Gail Gadot being jealous of this girl, you're like, no, she wouldn't be.
Oh yeah, now I remember
The
now. The evil queen's the one, the mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the
yeah,
fairest?
who's
So if
yeah,
she's gonna sit there and say who's the fairest, and it's a homely girl,
yeah, and you're like, that doesn't fit.
funny.
But that's gonna cut to what's his name? Peter Dinklage was furious with Disney because it was an opportunity for uh little people. I don't know what this I know the words we're not supposed to say when referring to
Small people.
yeah, small people, but they didn't hire they took regular actors and just miniaturized them using
Like they did in The Hobbit.
well, I don't know if it's like they did in The Hobbit, but like they're doing the Oompa Loompas, I think, in Wonka.
Yeah.
Um, just CGIing them down, and he was pretty pissed about that. He's like, "Here's an
Well,
opportunity."
life is tough. Get a helmet.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's
And
my
then
new favorite saying. I heard that.
get a
I don't know
helmet.
where I heard that from. That's my new favorite saying.
And then the next weekend after that, after Snow White, I'm pumped about because it's the Ghostbusters sequel, the Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel.
Okay.
So that's cool. Kung Fu Panda 4, little nervous about that one. Something called Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson, Tony Collette, Mark Ruffalo, and Stephen Yeun. And that's as far as I'm going to go. So
Okay. All right. Greg, I want you to do some homework. We're coming up on Halloween. So for next week's episode, if we do not have a guest, I want you to think about okay, so we can do this in two ways. The scariest movie of all time for you. It doesn't have to be like box office or anything of that nature. Don't answer now. This is just homework. Clay,
okay,
homework
okay.
for you. Kurt, if you're still listening, homework for you as well. Remember, it doesn't have to be what box office. It has to be how it was. Like it was the scariest movie for you. It could be when you were a kid. It could be now. I don't care. Scariest Halloween movie and what is the like best Halloween, like our top 5 Halloween movies to watch for the Halloween season? All right, homework.
Okay, hold on. I'm putting this in our message block so that
Got it.
they can always go back and
So while Greg's doing that, I want you
don't
guys...
answer yet, Clay. Come on.
Jesus, Clay. I just said it, Clay.
There's no bonus points for getting it early.
What? Oh, he was that kid at school, right?
No, he was not.
Jesus.
I love you, Clay, but I don't think you were that kid.
Clay. All right. Should we ban Clay for an episode now because he did that? Or should it be any kind of punishment or reprehensive? Nothing?
He's getting enough shit online right now. So
nothing banned? Okay. Oh, you done? You typed that in already?
Yeah, I got it. We're good.
Fast typer.
I realized that we're over an hour now, and I'm like, damn, that was quick.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm going to give you a stat before I send it to you to take us out. There's a stat I heard this week I thought was kind of crazy, and it just adds to the legend of Tom Brady. There is not one time in his entire career in the NFL did he ever take one snap, where his team was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. There was never one time in his entire career. That's crazy.
Okay.
I have no way of checking that. I heard that from other, I've heard that from like ESPN people. So I'm assuming they did the research, because if they didn't, 1,000 people.
Well, I heard it on Fox News. It has to be right.
Well, no, ESPN is like, that's what they do. They wouldn't get shit for it. Like, they're not going to be wrong about that stat. But I just thought that was a crazy stat. He played 20 years and not one time.
Yeah. Crazy.
So, because we can't say that about Justin Fields.
No. I think every snap Justin Fields has ever taken, he's been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah. Except maybe the first snap of the first season.
I was in the middle of texting you in the game today,
Yeah.
saying that your quarterback currently has a 100% QB rating, and then he immediately threw a pick. I was like, dilly.
Which quarterback? We had 2 play.
The replacement.
The
Badgett.
No, we
Yeah.
call him, the reason how you can remember this, not that you need to remember this, but it's, think of it as, because he had the nickname Secret Bagent Man. So Secret
Oh,
Agent Man. So
okay.
that's why. Because everybody on, if you can imagine thick Chicago accented people calling up ESPN on the Chicago
Yeah.
radio affiliate, they're going, put in that Badgett kid, put in that Bagot kid, put in that bagel kid, put that kid in. So, all right, man.
Right.
Greg, take us out,
folks.
sir.
As you are figuring out what your scariest movie is and figuring out your top 5 throughout the week, just remember, don't be a douche.
There you go. For the Greg, this is Johnn'y saying, take care. Have a great week. See you next Sunday.